Lesson 78 is on graphing inequalities. We have used these symbols before. We have used greater than, less than, and equal to compare two numbers. In this lesson, we're going to talk about two new symbols. We call these inequalities as well. We are now going to combine these symbols, the two inequalities, with the equal sign. When we do that, we get greater than or equal to and less than or equal to. Let's talk about how to graph numbers on a number line. When we graph, let's say the number 4 on a number line, we go to number 4 and we plot, or we put a filled in dot at 4. This graph is now showing that we have graphed the number 4. Sometimes we would want to graph maybe all the numbers that are greater than or equal to 4. Well, we would start putting dots. Maybe there would be 6 here. We'd start putting dots in every number until our number line runs out. Now, however, this doesn't tell us that, hey, yeah, 4.5 is included in this. So we would actually have to put lots of little dots and there wouldn't be any space. So we've actually come up with a different idea to graph the number 4. So to graph 4, we might draw a number line. We're going to say it's greater than or equal to 4, so therefore we have a filled in dot. We call this filled in dot a closed dot because it is filled in. Then we want it to be greater than, so we draw an arrow to all the numbers that are bigger than 4. That now includes all of the other numbers. Let's take a look at two different examples here. Now, we could have x, some number is greater than or equal to 4, which is what we just graphed, and we can also have x is greater than 4. There is a big difference between these two. In the first one, they're including the 4, but on the second one, we're not including 4. So we'd have to have something bigger than 4. Let's take a look at examples 1 and 2, and this will make more sense. In examples 1 and 2, we're asked to graph these inequalities on number lines. Now this first one, we have a less than or equal to sign. That's what that means. Less than or equal. In the second one, in example 2, we have this inequality, and that means just greater than. So we're not going to include 4 on our graph. Now, let's graph this. Let's get our number line out. Now, normally on this graph, we would go to 4 and we would plot a point. Since we have the greater than or equal sign, we do leave a filled in dot. We call this a closed dot, and x, or our number, is less than, so it's all the numbers that are less than 4, so we draw our arrow to the left. Now, in example 2, let's make our number line. Now, however, this is not a greater than or equal to sign, it's just greater than. So we now have to leave an open dot. An open means it's not filled in. See how you can see through my blue circle? That means I'm selecting 4, but x is going to be greater than. So it's not including 4, but it's including anything after 4. So this is my graph for x is greater than 4. For your practice on page 542, I'd like for you to complete A through D and bring it to class.